lines on a few things, and you just can't do that in these big games. And swings are swings, and when they happen, they're hard to make up for. But I thought we had some guys that played really well. I thought, like you said, we had some wide open looks, and I thought all in all, it was a hell of a game. 7 turnovers, we out-rebounded them, shoot it a little less than they did. We shot it decent from the 3. I thought there were a lot of positives. The negatives kind of reared its ugly head, and that's a shame in a game like that.
How much are those negatives a great teaching moment for you right now going into this week?
You know, what I've learned is there's always a teaching moment, because it's you know, as I told you, we have to be a little different than we used to be as far as how we handle situations. So things have a way of repeating themselves sometimes, and when that happens, you know, you just gotta keep doing it. You gotta keep emphasizing things. But one player didn't lose the game. We made some mistakes. I thought there were. Did anybody think that last one? I didn't really see it. Was it close?
Depends on what angle.
Look clean?
Yeah.
Okay.
A little bit of both. I mean,
but that's not a game winner either. I mean, you know, for once in my life, I thought the foul trouble we got in early in the second half really hurt us. We just didn't have enough guys playing as good as we could at this level. You know, we needed our key guys to play good. And when we had Jace and Jax out of the game, and then Jaden, you know, I had to play more minutes, and that struggled a little bit. I thought Jeremy played awfully well. I thought Jace played awfully well. I thought Coop played awfully well, and we couldn't get Jackson involved in the game much because of his foul trouble, and so that was a little difficult. But you know, we didn't quit. We came back. We made plays, and every time we made a couple of great plays, we made a couple bonehead plays. You know, a couple of weird turnovers, a couple of things that we just can't do if we're gonna compete at a level with the teams that you have to compete against to move on in any tournament.
Sanjay in particular, he looked like he was going downhill today, maybe a little more than the first game.
Yeah.
It also looked like they were trying to get into Jackson and get a little bit, get to him and maybe get him in foul trouble.
Well, I thought the game plan was really good that we took away the threes. You know, we wanted to take away the threes, and we did a decent job of that. How many did they make? 8 or 9? 8?
I thought
9. You know, I mean, that's 10 less than the other day, so one for the Spartans. But, you know, once he caught fire, he hit some, and we just didn't have an answer. And then we had some guys in there when Jax was out that hadn't covered it as well. But I have no complaints about that kind of stuff. We had our chances. We missed a couple of bunnies in there, and we missed, you know, we didn't miss many free throws, but a couple critical ones. And that's kind of what happens. But we competed. We didn't quit. We came back. We dug down. We got big rebounds, a couple of Coops rebounds off of our missed free throws was amazing. And just couldn't get it done.
Trey's attack, one of those teaching points you're talking about?
I don't know. I'm not even going to talk about Trey's tactic. I'll talk to Trey about that. He's, you know, there's just certain things you can't do, but there's a lot of teaching points I got. It's not on one guy, and it won't be on one guy, but, you know, like I say on anything we do, is there a reason you left that door open, Max?
We were just getting ready to put
Yeah,
it
well,
up.
don't, you know, I shut the door for a reason, Max, because they can't hear, and I'm trying to be user-friendly to the frickin' media, so don't open the door. Thanks.
Thank you.
But mistakes are part of basketball. And as I tell players, whether it be cutouts at the free throw line or cutouts when, you know, they take a long shot and there's a long rebound and we didn't cut out, or getting into things that you can't get into, those are mistakes. But when you make them over and over again, That's what definition of insanity is. And look at me, I'm cool and calm. I didn't go insane because that's what everybody wants. But players, like I said, it was more than a technical. It was more than a couple missed cutouts by some of our upperclassmen. Just don't get to do those things. And will we learn from it? I don't know. Kids don't learn as much as fast as they used to. When a player confronts a player, then they'll start learning things the players gotta handle. And I said in the pregame talk that it's got to be all 40 minutes. You do not get to have minutes off, and that's what happens as you move up the pyramid, to the top. And that's why coaches are anal, and that's why Nick Saban wins, and that's why Mike Krzyzewski wins. And we've done a decent job of winning, but not to that level. So I'm always saying that you got to be pretty anal in this job to drive home the points on cutouts or screw ups or things that happen. You got to be pretty anal most of the time.
When it comes to the next stage, or the next week, I would imagine that intensifies for you. That
I don't know if it does. As we all said, you're not allowed to. What's intensity anymore? That'll be. You guys will be open, but there'll be more closed practices. I'm not letting anybody in there because, you guys are going to get your day because that's what I've done my whole career. But intensify, I don't think so. I think the one bad thing about me is I'm consistent. I'm consistent. I had my couple of years where I got a little inconsistent, beat the hell out of myself. I've been consistent all year with them. And I got no problems with how we played in a lot of ways. That was a good team. The way I'm talking, I'm taking something away from Wisconsin. They played well, and one player was, him and Smith were 1-2 on the most valuable, and Tanji, boy, he hit some big shots. He really played well, and it wasn't bad defense. A couple times we lost him, but it was good offense and a good player.
This is a group, though, that you see in your team that you feel like can make a deep run here with what they've shown.
Yeah, I think we can do a lot of things. We could have won this tournament. It's not what you can do; it's what you do. And so maybe tomorrow when we get back and we look at the tape and we kind of, when you win a lot, sometimes those things, and there was one negative I had with this year is those games that were every 2 days apart. We never got to work on us enough or talk about us or even watch film on us. And so then those little things kind of slip away, and that's something I got to do a better job. I got to go back to 6 o'clock, 6:30 in the morning, get up, we're watching the tape, then we'll move on, So trust me when I say I look in the mirror and figure out what do I got to do better. I'm gonna do some things, but I don't think. I think this team has performed way above where they are, and yet I think there's a ceiling yet to get to, and that's going to be my job in the next 5 days. Guy asked me a good question. He says, what is it like to win 8 in a row? I said we won 13 in a row. How fast we forget. The losing locker room was not good, but it was not bad. It was more tearful and more. They knew some mistakes they made, and I knew some mistakes I made, and we shared that together and explained why things have to be the way they have to be. And but like I said, we got beat by a good team who played good, and we could have folded a couple times, and. Boy, we came back, and that's why I said Jeremy and Jace and Coop, even Jack's hitting that big 3 and hitting that, we needed to get him the ball more, but he wasn't in the game. And foul trouble was a problem for Jack's.
Those free throws as big as any that Jeremy's made this year, and
Yeah.
good for his confidence with some of the struggles
Yeah,
he had with it.
Yeah, and he's a very good free throw shooter, but he did go through some struggles. You are right, and But I think Jeremy showed why his competitiveness is what I love. You know, he competed. Jace competed. He was getting pushed around and beat up, and he competed. You know, and Coop competed. So not that the other guys didn't, but we got a lot out of those guys. We just got to get a little more out of a couple other guys.